Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Nina.
Hello everybody, I am Scott. No, I deceived you. I am Shane.
Did you really deceive them though?
I don't know.
Don't they know your name already?
Okay,
Right.
We're talking about nature's deceivers, tricks of survival, and this is part 1. So to deceive somebody just kind of means to like lie or trick them, right? Have you ever been deceived really badly or tricked really badly before?
Actually, I've been tricked before when I was traveling in Paris, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think they specifically go towards the tourists.
Yes, I know.
Because they're easily tricked, right? They're easily tricked. They don't know that this is part of their plan. So they pretend to be a beggar, or they pretend to maybe ask for money for a charity, but in reality, it's not for that purpose. Yeah, so I got tricked before.
And I've been tricked when I was actually in Europe traveling around too. There were some people who were around my age, like a group of guys, and they just, hey, where are you from? And they were really, really friendly.
Yeah.
And they were just friendly, like where they were just like, hey,
Oh, okay, way too friendly.
Right, like super friendly. But actually, I was with another friend, and we just thought, wow, these people are so friendly. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And then we talked to them for a while, for like 15 or 20 minutes. Like they really got a lot of information out of us, and we thought, these are really cool people. And then they left, we said goodbye, and guess what?
What?
My backpack was missing.
Really?
They stole my backpack.
Oh, that's a good way. Just distract you first and then take what they need.
Yeah, they like gain your trust and distract you, and then suddenly you're missing your wallet or your camera or your backpack.
Man.
And my backpack had my wallet and my camera and had everything in it.
Oh no. Was it just you that got deceived, or was it your friend as well?
No, my friend was fine.
Okay.
Just me.
Yeah, they didn't like you that much. That must have been it.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's get into today's topic.
All right, let's get into it.
As people often say, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. In the animal kingdom, only the strong survive, or those that have a few tricks up their sleeves. Read on to discover more about the clever creatures that have mastered the art of deception. Dinner is served. The African drongo has figured out a way to get its next meal without breaking a sweat. This small bird follows other creatures around as they hunt. When the creature comes upon some food, the African drongo imitates its victim's alarm call, which signals that a predator is near. Then the African drongo moves in to take the food from under the confused animal's nose.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about nature's deceivers, just like those people in Rome. It is that their trick was for survival. Maybe that's just what they do for a job. They need to eat, they need to do it, so that's...
They could also work at 7-Eleven, or, but they want to steal. It's quicker.
It is quicker, and they could probably make more money that way.
Yeah.
Not good. Okay, let's look at this part 1.
Yes, so as people often say, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. So dog-eat-dog world, have you heard of that saying before?
Yeah, so basically it just means that you can't trust anybody. Everybody is just out to get their food or to get something, and you're always fighting against somebody else.
In the animal kingdom, only the strong survive. Yeah, so you eat each other, or you see what happens.
Eat or get eaten.
Exactly. Or those that have a few tricks up their sleeves.
Okay.
So when you have tricks up your sleeves, what does that mean?
Yeah, basically it just means that you have some ways to
figure it out.
Figure things out because you have some ways to deal with these things. The idea is kind of like
you take the trick.
Like a magician or something, right? Yeah. And they do a trick, but actually they're hiding something inside their sleeve.
Yes.
Okay. Read on to discover more about the clever creatures that have mastered the art of deception.
Ooh. Deception. It's just a noun for deceive.
Right, so we're talking about creatures. So a creature is a noun. Creatures are basically anything that's living that can move around. So it can be an animal, it can be an insect. And normally when we think of creatures, we don't think of something like a dog, right?
Yeah.
We're thinking of something that maybe you'll feel a little bit like, ooh.
Scared, or you're not sure what it is exactly. You'll say, oh, what's that creature?
That's an odd creature.
Yeah.
So the example sentence, all sorts of creatures live in that forest. So you might be a little bit afraid of going into that forest because there's just a lot of creatures
Yeah,
there.
just like in Avatar, right? A lot of unusual creatures there.
True.
Yeah. All right, so continuing with the story, dinner is served. The African drongo has figured out a way to get its next meal without breaking a sweat. So breaking a sweat just means you start sweating.
Right,
so even without sweating.
Right, so if you didn't break a sweat when you did something, that means it was very easy for you to do. Okay?
Okay, so he found a way to just what? Just get a meal that easy? What did he do? Let's see. This small bird follows other creatures around as they hunt. Okay, that's smart.
Okay, so he lets other people do the hunting and then he follows them around. Let's find out what he does. When the creature comes upon some food, the African drongo imitates its victim's alarm call, which signals that a predator is near. Okay, so the victim would be this animal that it's following around.
Yes.
And a lot of animals, because they especially if they live in groups, they probably have some kind of like a sound that they will make so that they know that there's like a lion nearby or maybe like a big bird that can come and eat them. So it imitates that sound. Okay, interesting.
So that they can eat themselves? Let's see. Then the African drongo moves in to take the food from under the confused animal's nose.
Very clever.
So you distract them and then you take their food.
Right, okay.
That's cheeky.
That's cheeky. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so the victim is a noun and it means to be hurt, damaged, or killed because of something or someone.
Okay.
Right? For example, sea turtles in this region often fall victim to the effects of pollution. You know, like the plastic that people leave inside inside the pools or the ocean, and then maybe it gets stuck on their neck.
And then they die.
Yeah, or they're struggling with it. Another example would be a rich doctor is the thief's latest victim.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was the victim of a thief as well.
Yes. So in this case, the thief stole from the rich doctor, which isn't Shane.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I'm not a rich doctor.
Yeah.
But when I was a victim, I was pretty confused. So that's a vocabulary word here. If you're confused, it means that you can't think clearly or you don't understand something or what's going on.
Yes.
So when I was a victim, the people who were trying to steal from me confused me. They made me feel like I was like one of their friends, and actually what they were trying to do was steal from me because I wasn't thinking clearly. If I was thinking clearly, I would know that if you are a tourist somewhere, you really need to watch your things.
Yes, you definitely do.
Our example sentence here, the confused students had many questions for their inexperienced teacher.
Okay, so their teacher didn't really have that much experience in teaching, so maybe they didn't do a very good job. So,
Right, so
all
they're
the
confused
students,
and they have lots of questions.
Like, what's going on?
Hopefully you don't have any questions, right?
Yeah.
None.
None.
Well, if you do, you can think about them and then take a break.
All right, see you after the break. Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Nature's Deceivers Tricks of Survival。我们先来看到动词 deceive， 它表示欺骗、蒙蔽。那它的名词 deception 就可以表达欺骗、欺诈或是受骗。而我们的标题里面，它是用到 deceiver， 表示骗子、欺诈者。好，再看到它用到 survival， 则是名词，可以表达生存、存活。那我们知道动物世界是很残酷无情的，只有强者或者是那些暗中留有一手的动物才能生存。我们这2天的课文就是要介绍一些精通欺骗技巧的聪明动物哦。文中它是用到 creature 来指动物、生物。好，那我们就来看看，首先登场的动物是非洲卷尾。这种小鸟啊，会跟着其他动物四处狩猎。那当动物发现了食物的时候，非洲卷尾就会模仿它们的警戒声，然后去表达说，哦，附近有掠食者哦。然后这时候非洲卷尾就会进来，
当着这个困惑动物的面把食物拿走，它不费吹灰之力就取得下一餐了。也就是说，他们用声东击西的方式让这个动物分心，然后再偷偷把食物抢走。Nina 老师刚刚用到 cheeky 这个字 ，cheeky，cheeky，它可以形容是厚脸皮的或者是放肆的、鲁莽的。老师还用到 distract，distract，它可以表达使分心的意思。在课文单字 victim， 它表示受害者、遇难者。那我们常常会用 fall victim to 去表达成为什么的受害者。再来 confused， 它是形容困惑的、混乱的。那这边4个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看一个重点是 have 或者是 keep something up one's sleeve， 这表示说暗中留有什么高招，暗藏着什么锦囊妙计。那这个 sleeve 就是袖子。have 跟 keep 这个动词后面常常会接 trick 诡计、idea 想法、ace 王牌等等，去表达说这个心中常有诡计啊、想法或是王牌。举例来说 ，Their coach still has an ace up his sleeve。他们的教练呢还有一张秘密王牌。下一个重点是 break a sweat， 意思是开始流汗。那常常会搭配否定词，像是你可以用 without breaking a sweat 去比喻说不费吹灰之力。例如 Nathan can do 100 push-ups without breaking a sweat。Nathan 他可以毫不费力的做100下伏地挺身。好，那下一个重点是 come upon， 它表示偶然发现、碰巧遇到，那就跟 come across 意思相同。像我们可以说 We came across a lovely cafe， 或者是 We came upon a lovely cafe a few days ago。我们几天前偶然发现一间迷人的小餐馆。好，那下一个重点是 under one's nose， 看起来好像是在某人鼻子下面，那它可以指说在某人的眼皮底下，可能像是明目张胆的当着某人的面。举例来说 ，She couldn't believe that her phone was stolen right under her nose。她无法相信手机就在自己的眼皮底下就被偷走嘞。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
Nest guests. The common cuckoo would prefer not to do the work of raising its young. Instead, it lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, and these birds raise the babies as their own. Dropping bait. The impatient green heron is interested in speeding up the hunt. It places pieces of bread or other objects onto the surface of water to attract fish, much like a fisherman uses worms as bait.
Welcome back. All right, we're still talking about nature's deceivers.
Yes.
So, like in nature, like what some animals are doing to try to get some food.
Yeah,
right?
you do what you have to
some
do.
Hunting.
Yeah, so now we're going to be talking about nest guests. Okay, so nest, I think everyone's heard of this, right? Nest is a noun. It's a structure built by birds or insects to leave their eggs in to develop, and by some other animals to give birth or live in.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like a home.
Yeah, a
for
home
animals.
or a bed or yeah, so it's like a bird's nest or a wasp or a hornet's nest.
I don't like wasp nests.
Have you seen them before?
Yeah, they're creepy.
So an example would be the bird returned to its nest and fed its young. Okay, so that's a responsible bird right there, right? Taking care of its children.
Okay, so nest guests. Okay, let's see. The common cuckoo would prefer not to do the work of raising its young. Well, who blames them? I mean, raising children is really, really exhausting.
Then why have the children?
Well, I think it's very natural, right? I mean, that's survival, or else, your species will die.
Okay.
You have to have young, right?
So who takes care of its young?
Okay. Instead, it lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, and these birds raise the babies as their own.
Wow.
That is super clever.
That is such a deception.
That's really, really deceiving, right?
Yes, so that's horrible.
This kind of reminds me of my childhood.
How so?
Because my parents didn't really raise me. In fact, I would just go to my friend's house or like my girlfriend's house, and I would spend most of my time there. So they would feed me, they would take me out to dinner or go to the movies with them. And because my parents were quite busy, so they will always say, oh, why don't you go to your friend Philip's house? So I think actually they were just very, very clever. They were like the cuckoo, and they were just having other people's parents raise me.
Wow, they probably saved a lot of time and a lot of money.
They did.
I guess the moral of the story is learn from the cuckoo bird.
Yeah, the cuckoo's pretty brilliant. And my parents are really smart. I didn't realize it till now.
Is that what you're going to do with your children?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, so the next one is dropping bait. So bait, what is bait? Bait is a noun. It's a small amount of food that maybe you put on a hook or in a special device so that you can attract and catch a fish or animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like when we're fishing, right? The worm is usually the bait, right?
Yeah, the worm. Or if we're trying to get some kind of animal, we can put a different kind of treat that they like there.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, so an example sentence would be, Daryl forgot to bring bait on his fishing trip. I don't think he's going to get much success fishing.
You're not going to catch many fish if you didn't bring bait.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
Okay.
All right, so continuing with the story. The impatient green heron is interested in speeding up the hunt. Okay, so they want it to be faster. It places pieces of bread or other objects onto the surface of water to attract fish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, much like a fisherman uses worms as bait. So
Pretty clever.
Very smart. You put breadcrumbs and then the fish will come.
Yeah, okay. Do you like fishing?
I've done it before. I think it's fun as long as I catch something.
I always felt like I went fishing once and just having to put the hook on the worm, I felt so bad. Because it's like you're just stabbing it and it's still alive and moving.
Yeah.
I didn't really like fishing.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Maybe you could use the dead ones already.
Oh, yeah, but then
it's not as effective,
yeah,
right?
I think it needs to move to get the attention of the fish, right? So we have a vocabulary word, attract, and this is a verb. So if you attract something, you make it want to come to you, right? So you make it maybe just interested by something that you do. So for example, the smell of the freshly baked pizza attracted Luis to the kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
I think talking about it is attracting me to the kitchen.
Right? Just the mention of fresh baked pizza makes you really feel like you're attracted to go to the local pizzeria.
Oh, there's a pizza shop
get
right
some
around the corner, actually.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's like a Pizza Hut, right?
Oh.
Just around from the corner.
Why don't we go get some pizza
Sounds
then?
about right to me. I'm ready for food.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for today, and I think we're pretty hungry.
We're going to get some pizza.
I think Pizza Hut has used their pizza to bait us to go get their food, right?
Right. All right, then. See you guys later.
Bye.
下一个要介绍的是大杜鹃。那这种鸟宁愿不抚养它的幼鸟，而是把蛋下在其他鸟的鸟巢里，让别的鸟来帮忙养小孩。Nest 它就表示巢或是窝，可能像是鸟类或是昆虫的巢窝，也可以指动物的穴。好，那我们来看第三个要介绍的是绿鹭，它会把面包屑或其他物体放在水面上引来鱼群，就像渔夫他们会用虫来当诱饵一样，这真的很聪明哎。好，那 bait B-A-I-T bait 它可以指饵，就是鱼饵的饵，可以当可数名词或不可数名词用。这个字也可以当动词，表示把饵装到什么什么上。好，那这边还有一个动词是 attract， 它表示引来、吸引的意思。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
As people often say, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. In the animal kingdom, only the strong survive, or those that have a few tricks up their sleeves. Read on to discover more about the clever creatures that have mastered the art of deception. Dinner is served. The African drongo has figured out a way to get its next meal without breaking a sweat. This small bird follows other creatures around as they hunt. When the creature comes upon some food, the African drongo imitates its victim's alarm call, which signals that a predator is near. Then the African drongo moves in to take the food from under the confused animal's nose. Nest guests. The common cuckoo would prefer not to do the work of raising its young. Instead, it lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, and these birds raise the babies as their own. Dropping bait. The impatient green heron is interested in speeding up the hunt. It places pieces of bread or other objects onto the surface of water to attract fish, much like a fisherman uses worms as bait.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen.
And I'm Matt.
We're going to play a game called Guess the Bear, where each of us has 3 words or phrases on these cards. We're going to read 2 sentence examples for each, but instead of saying the word, we're going to say the word bear instead, and you only have 1 minute to guess all 3. Can you do it?
I can.
I don't think you can, but let's see. All right, start the timer. This is a noun. Number 1, John was the bear of the murder. Number 2, police think the perpetrator didn't know the bear.
Oh, wait.
Okay, it's a noun. John was the bear of the murder. Number 2, police think the perpetrator didn't know the bear.
Victim.
Good. All right, this is a noun as well. Number 1, he claimed to see a large bear on his property. Number 2, some people think lizards are very scary bears.
Animals, beasts, creatures.
Okay, there you go. Okay. My acting helped. Okay, this is an adjective. Number 1, her explanation just left him even more bare. Number 2, the directions were unclear and left me very bare.
Confused.
Good job. Yeah, yours were easy. Yeah, you guys like him or
Well,
something.
that when you said they saw a large bear.
My
in their
acting
yard,
really helped you out. I know, that was like, that sentence made sense. And then my acting helped you. So
Okay,
you're
that's
welcome.
right.
I expect acting
Good
from you as
creature
well.
acting.
All right, go.
All right, 1 minute, let's go. First one's a verb.
Okay.
The loud noise bared a large, curious crowd. Light bulbs bear moths in the dark of the night.
Attract.
Yes. Next one's a noun. Worms are used as bear when fishing. They used popcorn as bear to catch the mouse.
Okay, these are easy. Bait.
Okay, last one's also a noun.
Okay.
Birds built a bear right outside my window. Baby squirrels leave I'm slow down so you don't.
Okay, slow down.
Baby squirrels leave the bear at 6 weeks old.
Oh, I wonder, could it be nest?
It's not fair.
I know, mine's were like even easier.
I didn't even get to do any
But I
acting.
forgot that squirrels, those are called nest as well. It's not just a bird's nest, so I think it's good to hear that.
Yeah.
But speaking of moths, you know when moths like want to like find like a mate, some moths will like they will have like this weird tentacle thing that comes out of their bottom, and it's so scary. Look it up. It's the scariest thing ever. Moths are so scary. Look it up. Yeah, you'll be traumatized. Really.
See you next time.